There's so many things I wish someone had sat me down and told me when I was beginning to live my life. I'm not talking about when I was just a child, a toddler, or quite frankly, even in my young teens, because then I probably was too stubborn to listen. But there are things about life that you live in the process of your life that transform your thinking. You think differently when you're a child than when you're a teenager. You think differently in your 20-somethings than you do when you're a teenager. Then as you age, life changes. So it should speak to us about how God designed us and how God designed life. And there are two things the Bible specifically addresses in the New Testament that affect us every single day of our life. As a matter of fact, every hour of every day of our life, we're affected by these two principles: transformation and the renewal of our mind. It is by the renewal of our mind that transformation takes place. To transform means to change forms. It's like a continuing basis. And life really is supposed to be lived like this. There will be times when you fall down, but you will never fall back. And you must always remember that. So wherever you've come to in life, if you have a catastrophe, a tragedy, if you sin and you fall down, you don't fall back, you fall down. And you're always able to get up. And when you get up through repentance, you're right back at the place where you fell. You don't go back to the beginning. And so life builds. And you're smarter today than you were yesterday or last year. You have more understanding today than you had last year. You're more qualified to live your life today than you were yesterday, just because of what's inside of you. But here's the issue. We don't often look at life and think about life in an unlived fashion. What is there about me that I have not lived? What was I intended for? What was my purpose? What did I think when I was growing up as a teenager and I had these thoughts and ideas about my life? Or even when I was in my 20s or 30s and I looked at my life and I had these thoughts, and then as life went by, those things did not happen. And I sort of gave up on those. But you see, those were woven into the fabric of your life. You may never get away from them. You don't want to die like that. You want to live your life. I remember an 80-year-old woman walking across the stage in one of the Ivy League schools more than 30 years ago, 80 years of age. And she had just received her teaching degree, and she was now qualified to teach children. There was a reporter waiting for her as she came off the stage to interview her. And he said to her, "Now that you have this degree, are you really going to go into a classroom and teach children at your age?" She said, "I don't think I will, but I can. I'm qualified, I'm degreed, and I can do it. I can pull it off." But he said, "I don't really understand. You spent all this time. It's taken you all these years to get to this point. You don't have that many years left. Why would you do that?" And this is what she said. "From the time I was a little child, I wanted to be a teacher. But you see, in my family, my father passed away, my mother passed away. I was the oldest child, and I had several siblings, and I had to step in as the oldest child and take care of them. I had to go to work. I had to work 2 and 3 jobs. I knew that I wanted all of them to go to school, to get an education, so I put them through college. There was never time for me. I never had the money, I never had the time. But then as I grew older, I realized I do have time now. They're all doing well. I did my part. I did what I was supposed to do. Now I'm going to do what I was born to do." It's really never too late for you to do what you were born to do. It's never too late to know who God in mind when He had you in mind. It's never too late to know the purpose of your being here upon the earth. God had a plan for you before you ever got into your mother's womb. That plan that He had for you, He has never given up on, and neither should you.